What is up, guys, and welcome back to Rags to Riches 3, the series where we go from one of the worst teams in F1 2009, work our way through all of the Codemasters games, and try and get a drive for one of the best teams in F1 2017. We are currently in the 2010 season. It is the Canadian Grand Prix, round 8 of Season 2, and if you have missed any of the previous episodes, including the 2009 season, definitely go check those out. There'll be a card in the top right hand corner of your screens to go catch up now, so definitely go do that. But before we get into today's episode, let's have a look at the starting order for the standings, before we go into the Canadian Grand Prix. We're currently in P7 in the driver's standings, which is in its own a very, very good position. It's a very solid position in the 2010 season, seeing as we are driving for a BMW Sauber. However, this is the tricky part. If you're new to the series, then basically the team that we drive for in 2011 is decided by where we position in F1 2010. So we're currently in P7, which is a Lotus seat for next season. Not the Lotus Renault, the Lotus backmarker, so we definitely need to improve on this. If we can get 4th place this season, 3rd or 4th we'll drive for Williams in 2011, and 1st or 2nd will be a drive for Force India. But at the moment it's looking like we are quite a bit off of those guys. So we're going to need a decent result in the next race, and of course over the next couple of races, to really see whether we can battle with those guys or not. But without any further ado, let's over to the race weekend for the Canadian Grand Prix. It's one-shot qualifying time here at the Canadian Grand Prix, and all my hopes and prayers of getting a pole position this season rest on the shoulders of this qualifying lap. My best chance is probably going to be around this circuit, so let's not mess it up. Very nice and tidy through turns 1 and turn 2. Nice line through there, but we just need to make sure we're on top of it through the rest of the lap and make sure that there are no mistakes. It's been a very nice and tidy lap so far. 1:17 is the time to be a little bit wide off the apex of the hairpin, so not really maximizing our straight line speed all the way down this circuit. But here we go, putting our wing in the down position, making sure we are as quick as we possibly can be in towards the final chicane. Under braking, one more corner left to go, through the right, then the left, over the curbs, not running it too much, down towards line. Is lap time going to be good enough to beat Sebastian Vettel? Will we get pole position? Yes, we have pole position at the Canadian Grand Prix, if we can hold it there. There's not long left to go in this session. I'm not too sure whether anybody else has set a lap time or is going to be setting a lap time in the rest of the session, but as it stands, we are on for our first pole position this season. Get in pole position for the first time in the 2010 season. We've really struggled with qualifying over this season, so that is just to show that we do have the pace on this game, and maybe we're starting to take a different direction with this series. We're hopefully going to start getting better with qualifying and be more towards front of field. Okay, yes, you do tend to be better in qualifying and at the Canadian Grand Prix anyway on F1 2010, but fingers crossed we can get a good result here today. If we can do that, then that will really help us to try and push on for a Williams or Force India seat at the end of this season on towards next season. So fingers crossed we can do that. But pole position for the Canadian Grand Prix is an amazing result. Sebastian Vettel is lining up alongside us in 2nd, Webber's 3rd, Button 4th, Lewis Hamilton is in 5th with Felipe Massa 6th, Fernando Alonso qualifies in 7th with Schumacher 8th, and Nico Rosberg in 9th with Adrian Sutil rounding out the top 10. Where's my teammate Kobayashi? He is down in P13. Any surprises from qualifying? No, not really. But the big question is, we're in pole position. Can we stay there? Let's find out as we head over to the race for the Canadian Grand Prix. It's race day here at the Canadian Grand Prix, and there we are lining up in pole position. My 4th pole position in this Rags to Riches series. We've got Vettel in 2nd, Webber 3rd, and there is my teammate Kamui Kobayashi right down in the midfield area of P13. We do want to convert this race win, this pole position, into a race win. Can we do it as we go to 5 red lights? It is lights out, and away we go for the Canadian Grand Prix, and straight away putting it up into rich mix. We've got Sebastian Vettel having a look around our outside down towards turn 1. They're going to hug the inside line, give him loads of room on the entry in towards turn 2. I think he's still down on my right hand side. Yes, he is. Sebastian Vettel gets the job done for the time being. But we've got a lot of laps and we've got a lot of chances to come back out of the Red Bull driver. Hopefully we can do it very, very quickly. He gets very close to the wall there out of turn 4. And now we're going to try something maybe on the left-hand side. He squeezes us. Can we get the job done? We've run it deep. He's gone for the switchback maneuver. This is a great fight on the opening lap between myself and Sebastian Vettel. But once again, the Red Bull driver gets the better of us, and now his teammate is going to have a go. We've got Mark Webber on the left-hand side, braking down in towards this next chicane. Hopefully we don't overextend ourselves, which we don't. And there we go, holding on to P2. Still got Mark Webber all over the back of me, but we need to catch up to Sebastian Vettel if we want to stand any chance of getting the race win. This could be a very, very good opportunity for us down in towards this next chicane. I feel like we are quicker through here than the AI driver. Sebastian Vettel braking so much earlier than we actually do so. Through the right, then the left. Oh my god! Just about missing the wall there on the right-hand side. We are pushing like hell to try and catch up to Sebastian Vettel. Of course, we do want to regain the lead of this Canadian Grand Prix. We want to win today's race. We want to get our second race win in this Rags to Riches 3 series. But at the moment, Sebastian Vettel's doing just enough to hold us behind. Here we go. That was a great line through that corner, but Vettel got in the way. He was too slow for our own liking. That was a really, really nice line through that corner. Got it pretty much spot on, but unfortunately Sebastian Vettel just in the way. Going to try and go for a switchback maneuver on the Red Bull driver, but unfortunately we just don't have the acceleration out of the corner, and Sebastian Vettel gets away from us once more. It may have to be done in the pit stop phase, but at the moment this is looking really, really nice. Come on, Sebastian Vettel, you can't keep me behind you forever. We've got to get past him soon. Hopefully we can do it into the pit stop phase again, closing in on him through those corners. We might have a little look up the inside into the next corner. The team don't want me to come into the pits yet. I think they want me to come into the pits on the next lap, so we just have to wait and see. Look how close we get to the back of Sebastian Vettel. He's run it wide through the hairpin, but the acceleration that the Red Bull gets off the corners is just so much greater than our own, and at the moment it's holding me off. There's nothing I can do at the moment to catch up to Sebastian Vettel, but I may be able to have a good go in towards this next corner. He's broken a lot earlier than myself. Going to just take it cautiously through this chicane. Good exit out of the chicane, but once again, not really much I can do on Sebastian Vettel. Just holding off from the back of the Red Bull driver. Can I maybe have a lunge in towards this next corner? I'm going to have a little look up the inside, but again, just can't do anything right now on Sebastian Vettel. Right, here we go then. It's pit stop time here at the Canadian Grand Prix. And unfortunately, I feel like the gap that we've got back to the other drivers means that neither myself or Sebastian Vettel is going to get held up in the pit lane. So it's all about what we can do in the pit stop phase. He doesn't come into pits. Yes, he does. A very late lunge there for Sebastian Vettel coming into the pits. I was very early there in the pit stop as well. I kind of got it a bit wrong whereabouts the pit limiter line was. I broke a little bit earlier, otherwise I may have even been able to get the overtake done. But Sebastian Vettel saw I was coming into the pits and then decided to make a late lunge, but we've got the job done. We are ahead of Sebastian Vettel after the pit stop phase. That is absolutely fantastic here today. Out ahead. Oh, great. No. How have we got a penalty? Pit lane speeding. Oh, no. I've thrown it away. Oh, no, 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 no. We've got to hope and pray now that some sort of miracle happens in this race, that we can still win it, because that is really, really going to hurt us. Vettel's having his own little battle, though, behind us, as Senna's all over the place. Don't really know where he's going, so I'm just going to dive it up the inside of the HRT driver. No, he comes back at me. Bruno Senna, please don't. Okay, there we go. Got past Bruno Senna. Put it into Rich Mix, and let's just hope for the best. We need to come into the pits on this lap to serve a drive-through, and that is really, really going to hurt our own race. But luckily, because there are other drivers around us making pit stops, we should still come out in a points-paying position. But unfortunately, it's probably going to cost us the race win. Bruno Senna at the moment is holding up Sebastian Vettel, an absolute treat. We've already got a bit of a lead over the Red Bull driver. I mean, if you can carry on doing that, there are going to be drivers doing that alternative strategy, going hard, then soft. So we're going to come into the pit lane now. And we just need to make sure we are underneath the limiter line. I think we got it right that time. I pray that we've got it right. Hopefully, we haven't done a Pastor Maldonado and got a penalty for speeding through the pit lane while serving a penalty for speeding through the pit lane. So fingers crossed we've got it right this time around. Looks like we're going to come out in about P7. And no penalty this time around, out in P8. and I'm happy with that at the moment. Or just ahead of Felipe Massa in P7. The team apparently want me to come into the pits on this lap. I'm not too sure whether that's glitched or not. I don't believe I've got any more penalties to serve in this race, but now it's just a case of pushing like hell to try and at least get on the podium. I feel like a podium is possible here today, so let's see what we can do. We've got a nice little battle forming ahead of us between Button, Hamilton, and Timo Glock. Timo Glock holding up everybody really well. So thank you very much for that, Timo Glock. That's really going to help me. I feel like Lewis Hamilton, though, look at them all trying to get that slipstream off of Timo Glock, going all the way to left-hand side. It's going to be a side-by-side battle. I think Button has got the job done on all of them. Where am I going to go? Inside on Lewis Hamilton? Yes, I am. Oh, side-by-side with the McLaren driver, but just about squeezing through there. Button came into the pits. Timo Glock managed to hold them all off, and he's still ahead of me at the moment. So we need to get past Timo Glock. Hopefully we can make a quite swift movement past the Virgin driver like we did on the HRT of Bruno Senna. But Lewis Hamilton coming back at me there, but unable to get the drive off the corner. So that's very nice from myself there. Lewis Hamilton still fighting me quite a bit, but looks like he's dropped off now, so we can focus on Timo Glock. I know I can take Timo Glock. It's just a case of where can I go for the overtake. Maybe in towards this next corner if he goes defensive. Oh my god, he moved out into my path, but what a move that was. Wow, round the outside of the first part of that chicane, inside the next part. I was not expecting that, but what an incredible move that was. We've got Bruno Senna, who is up next, and now trying to get the overtake on the HRT driver, and then it's a case of whether we can get Sebastian Vettel and Mark Webber ahead of us. So, Senna's up next, should be able to move up into the podium position, but can we get the 2 Red Bulls? Right, I'm probably going to go for a lunge up the inside on Bruno Senna in towards turn 1. We're taking up the slipstream. We're going to go up the inside now, down towards turn 1, and it should be job done on the HRT driver, which it is. There we go. Bruno Senna made swiftly of, and we're now up into the podium position. Our first podium position this could be of the 2010 season, but we need to keep this up, and we need to push and see whether we can catch up to Webber and Vettel as well. Right, 5 seconds, I believe, is the gap to Mark Webber. And then Vettel's 3 seconds up the road. It is possible. It is possible that we can catch up to both these drivers, as long as we make sure the lines are right and we keep our foot on the throttle. No mistakes. Let's do this. Come on. Right then, coming into the final 3 laps of the Canadian Grand Prix. And I have a feeling that Mark Webber's probably got the job done on us. But Sebastian Vettel, there is a high chance that I can get past Sebastian Vettel and move up into P2. But I need to pile on the pressure on the Red Bull driver and just try and see what we can do. But he's doing a really good job at the moment in today's race of keeping me behind him. But that needs to change, and that hopefully will change over these final 3 laps. We've got a good opportunity. We're very quick at the moment, so let's see what we can do. All right, on the back of Sebastian Vettel, to the point that we went a little bit too deep into that hairpin, but this is going to provide us with a great opportunity now to go past the Red Bull drivers. If we can finally now put our engine into fast mix. Been really struggling with that all race. And now let's see what we can do on Vettel in towards this final chicane. Going to be right on his tail, riding the curbs, ride or die here at the Canadian Grand Prix. Piling on the pressure on the Red Bull driver. Can we maybe go for a look down in towards turn 1? We're going to try it up the inside into turn 1. Vettel has gone into the side of my car. Maybe I went a little bit too deep into that corner. Nevertheless, I've got the job done and I've moved up into second place. I'm not too sure whether that was too aggressive or not. I'm sure you guys will let me know in the comment section below. But 2 laps left to go of the Canadian Grand Prix, and now we can hunt down the leader of Mark Webber. Right, here on the final lap now of the Canadian Grand Prix. The gap between myself and Mark Webber is 1.6 seconds. We could do this. If we make sure that the rest of this lap is nice and tidy, potentially we could do this down in towards the final chicane. I'm not too sure whether to go for the lunge or not. We'll wait and see how close we are to Mark Webber at the final chicane. Oh, that's a bit too deep off the hairpin. Still 1.6 seconds is the gap between myself and the Red Bull driver, but what can we do? What can we do, if anything, down in towards the final corner? I don't think we're going to be able to do anything. I feel like Mark Webber, he is going to get the race win here today, but I'll take that, you know. At the end of the day, after getting a drive-through penalty, as I've made a little bit of a mistake there, definitely the race win is going to go to Mark Webber, but second place here today. I'm a little bit disappointed, but at the same time, after getting a drive-through penalty to finish in P2, that is a fantastic result. That is an amazing result here at the Canadian Grand Prix. Podium. Our first podium of the 2010 season. Little steps at a time. Okay, unfortunately, the race win got away from us. Getting that drive-through penalty really cost us here today. But if we think about the positives, we're on the podium after getting a drive-through penalty. That is absolutely incredible. And if we can continue this fine form into the next race, then who knows what we can do. But P2, 18 points to add to our tally. Unfortunately, Mark Webber getting the better of us here today. 2.1 seconds clear. And I feel like if we didn't get that drive-through penalty, we would have been so far in front of the other drivers. But nevertheless, the 2 Red Bulls were just a little bit too quick for ourselves here today. Sebastian Vettel, he rounds out the podium, finally managing to overtake him. It was very close between the two of us in the opening stage of the race before the pit stopped. And then afterwards, we had a little battle between the two of us that was very nice indeed. Lewis Hamilton, he finishes in 4th with Nico Rosberg 5th. Then it's Fernando Alonso, who finally gets into the points once again, finishes in P6. Schumacher in 7th. Kobayashi, he gets points here today in P8, so very well done to him. Petrov is in 9th with Jenson Button getting the final championship point here. So I feel like there are going to be a few surprises. Felipe Massa way down in 17th place, and not a good day for him. Any other surprises? Really, Rubens Barrichello down in P23, but that's nothing really to talk about either. Right, Drivers' Championship then, after our first podium this season. We move up a position above Vitaly Petrov, but only into P6. So it is still a Lotus seat for next season, but as you can see, we are now only 4 points away from Jenson Button, who's P5. Okay, it is a big gap to the Williams seat of Lewis Hamilton, but like I said, little steps at a time. We've still got a long way left to go in this season, and now that we are starting to get the results, then maybe we can start to put some pressure on those guys, especially as I feel personally I do better in the second half of the season anyway, so hopefully that will come true and we can get some more good results like this. But that is it for the Drivers' Championship. Let's have a look at the Constructors. P5, good points total for myself and Kobayashi here today. And that puts us above the Renault team, 5 points away from Mercedes. So at the moment, Mercedes are a little bit ahead of us, but I do feel like there is the opportunity to catch up to those guys over the rest of the season. But that is it for this amazing Canadian Grand Prix. Let's head back to the menus. Boy, have I missed this podium sequence. Why can't they have this on F1 2017? Anyway, let's get on with the podium interviews. I take myself next to Mark Webber and Sebastian Vettel. Right, what's the first question for us in this press conference room? How do you feel about your first podium? Well, okay, technically, it's not my first podium. It's actually, I think it's my second or third or fourth. Maybe 4th? I'm not too sure. I can't actually remember how many got in 2009. Somebody definitely let me know in the comment section down below. But it's definitely not my first. But I do feel very, very happy about this podium. First podium in the 2010 season, which has been a bit of a struggle in recent races. But it looks like we are now finally back on form. So I'm elated, but it's a real team effort at the end of the day. Do you see yourself challenging for the title? I mean, I hope so. We are quite away from the title at the moment. Quite a lot of points behind Sebastian Vettel and Mark Webber. But if we can continue this form, start to get more podiums, and these two guys next to me slip up, then maybe, just maybe, we can be in the title fight. So I think it is a bit too early to say, but who knows at the moment. Can you take the win and the next race? I mean, that is an important question. We got a podium here today. Would really love to get a race win in this season. I don't even know where we are next. I think it's Britain or Germany that is up next in this season. Or it might even be Valencia. If it's Valencia, then hopefully we can get a race win there, because I absolutely adore that circuit. But we'll definitely have to wait and see. But I see no reason what, because the car is definitely capable. We've got a podium here today. It's capable of getting the race win here today if I didn't get that drive-through penalty. What a fantastic race that was at the Canadian Grand Prix. We got a podium, our first podium of the 2010 season. We got a pole position as well. A little bit disappointed not to convert that into a race win, but we did get a drive-through as well. We got a drive-through penalty. Somehow, though, still managed to make our way through the field and get P2. So very, very happy with that. It's unfortunate that we didn't get Mark Webber at the end of the race. That would have definitely been incredible if we could have done that. But we got to take them as they come. P2, and that has helped us to move up into P6 once again in the standings. Also closed up the gap to Jenson Button, and closed up also to Lewis Hamilton and Felipe Massa, as well as Sebastian Vettel. Mark Webber was the only one who moved further away from us in the championship in today's race. So that's all it really matters, is trying to catch up to Lewis Hamilton at the moment, or whoever is in that P4 slot, and hopefully we can maybe get that Williams seat for next season. If not, Lotus, I still reckon we could do pretty well in the 2011 season. It's still not as decent as if we did drive for Williams next season, but I reckon we can still do a decent job. and get some good results in 2011 with Lotus. But there's still a long way left to go, and there's still every opportunity to move up the standings. But that's it for today's Canadian Grand Prix. If you have enjoyed the episode, don't forget to smash a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel as well for more Rags to Riches content, F1 2017 career mode as well. And of course, more F1 content coming in about a month's time. Probably second week of February, hopefully, we can start to get some different content up on this channel as well. And as always, don't forget to leave your comments in the section below. How do you feel that race went? Do you agree with me that, you know, it was a great result despite getting the drive-through penalty, or are you quite frustrated that we got the drive-through penalty at the end of the day? I mean, so am I. I am frustrated that I got the drive-through penalty, as the race win was definitely on the cards. But yeah, we just got to take them as they come. But of course, I will see you guys next time around at the European Grand Prix. But until then, it's goodbye from me.